It was supposed to be a dream vacation, a chance to escape the daily grind and relax at a luxurious resort, surrounded by the serene beauty of nature. But for Sarah, the reality was anything but peaceful. She arrived at the resort, eager to unwind and let the highly trained therapists do their work. At first, everything seemed perfect. The scenery was breathtaking, the staff was friendly, and the guests were all happy and relaxed. But as the days went by, she started to feel like something was off. The other guests seemed distant and robotic, almost as if they were under a spell. And the therapists, with their strange, hypnotic gaze, seemed more like jailers than healers. At night, Sarah heard strange noises coming from the surrounding forest. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, even when she was alone in her room. She tried to brush it off as paranoia, but the strange occurrences continued. Guests were disappearing, only to reappear hours later with no memory of what had happened. And the therapists were always watching, with their piercing eyes and inscrutable expressions. Sarah started to dig deeper, talking to other guests and piecing together what was happening. She soon realized that the resort was not what it seemed. The therapists were not simply there to help visitors relieve stress, they were part of a sinister plot. The guests were being harvested for their energy, their happiness and peace of mind draining away to feed an alien race that had taken over the resort. One morning, Sarah decided to confront the resort's manager, but as soon as she stepped outside her room, she was overpowered by a group of men in black suits. They dragged her to a hidden underground facility, where she discovered the horrifying truth. The resort was a front for an alien race, who used it as a farm to cultivate the stress and negativity of their human prey. The therapists were actually mind controllers, manipulating the guests into a state of blissful submission, so that they could be harvested for their energy. Sarah was horrified to learn that she, like the other guests, was merely a source of food for these extraterrestrial predators. As she was being held captive, Sarah learned more about the aliens and their motivations. They were a highly advanced species, but their own planet was dying and their resources were depleted. In their desperation, they had come to Earth, seeking to harvest the negative energy of its inhabitants to fuel their own survival. They had built the resorts as farms, where they could cultivate and harvest this energy from the unsuspecting guests. But Sarah refused to be a passive victim. With her will to survive, she managed to escape her captors and uncover the truth to the world. She made her way to a nearby town, where she went to the authorities and told them about the alien invasion and the sinister plot behind the resort. The authorities were skeptical at first, but as Sarah shared more of her story and evidence, they slowly began to believe her. They organized a team of experts and weapons to raid the resort and rescue the remaining guests. The once peaceful resort was exposed as a sinister trap, and its unsuspecting guests were rescued from their fate as intergalactic food. But Sarah knew that the fight against these extraterrestrial predators was far from over. She was determined to protect humanity from the terror that lurked beyond the stars. As she watched the resort burn to the ground, Sarah couldn't help but wonder how many other farms like this existed on Earth. How many unsuspecting victims were being harvested for their energy, without even realizing it. But she was resolved to find out. The truth was out there, and Sarah was determined to uncover it.